I ran for governor in California, and part of my plan was to expand gun rights for legal gun owners in California. Well, California just introduced SB 2, which initially looks like it expands gun rights for Californians. Keep in mind, I didn't become governor, obviously, but I became in second place in the recall candidates who ran in 2020. But anyway, short of that, you won't believe what is in this bill. If you are pissed at California, you're about to have your world turned upside down, because this is insane. You're not going to believe what California is up to now. And it really pisses me off because I ran for governor in California. And I'll tell you, I'm pissed I didn't win because we got a weenie baby who has done nothing for homelessness, done nothing for mental health, done nothing for schools, and while he was bragging about a stimulus-induced surplus during the campaign, I'm screaming, dude, it ain't gonna last, you idiot in California. The surplus is not gonna last if you spend it like a drunken sailor. And no offense to drunken sailors, because comparing drunken sailors to Newsom is an insult to drunken sailors. But anyway, Newsom is now running a deficit in California, and you know what Newsom thinks we should do for our constitutional rights, especially our Second Amendment, which he calls a suicide pact? Well, California just released the text of a CCW bill, a concealed carry bill. I'm actually a big fan of concealed carry. I actually ran on the concept of expanding concealed carry and moving more towards more gun rights. And I understand that California is basically like zero gun rights, and in Texas or Arizona it's like all gun rights, right? You're not going to get California to move all the way over, but bring them back to a little bit of normalcy, because what you got in California is just kooky, nutso insane, because people who are not criminals can't have a gun, but every criminal can walk into Walgreens, steal whatever they want, and they don't even go to jail. Because California is freaking broken. It's disgusting. But not only that, okay, California just introduced a bill, and you're gonna vomit when you see this. But let me just give you a little context here, okay? There's been one person who had a concealed carry license who murdered someone else, and guess where they are now? Prison. Because they're a scumbag, and they killed someone else when they shouldn't have. There have been thousands, dare I say, hundreds of thousands of felons who still walk the streets, who kill people all the frickin' time, but they're not licensed because it's easier not to be licensed. It's ridiculous. But anyway, California just introduced this bill. It's called SB 2. I kid you not, it was just introduced. And when I first saw the bill, I thought, oh my gosh, California is actually expanding the right to concealed carry? Oh my goodness, this sounds incredible. In fact, look at this. The bill would require the licensing authority to issue applications, and the bill would remove certain requirements, like good cause requirements from the issuance. Usually in California, if you want a concealed carry firearm, you have to show good cause, and you know, you have to have like a clean criminal record. They're removing that. They're like, look, we want more people to be able to have concealed carry licenses. So I started reading this bill, and I'm like, holy smokes, is California turning around? Boy, was I disappointed. And I think you're going to be pretty disappointed as well in just a moment. So anyway, they start by loosening the requirements for who can carry a firearm. So you gotta be 21. You gotta be 21 to buy a firearm in California. It's also worth noting that California has magazine restrictions. You can only have a 10-round magazine. So if you get like a Glock 17, you ain't getting those 17 rounds. You're getting 10. Now, of course, if you happen to find a 17-round magazine in Arizona or something, and you happen to bring it back, then potentially you could loophole into having a higher cap mag, but California has restrictions on that. They also have restrictions on the type of firearm you could have. For example, you can't have, but maybe, I want to say the California roster is like 40 guns long, and outside of that, you just can't even have them. But okay, whatever. So initially, again, just going back to the concept, SB2, okay, California expanding people's rights to have firearms, okay, legal gun ownership, I'm a fan of that, especially, if people are trained or can certify that they've been trained. Now, I ran on this on the campaign. I want to be very clear about this. I don't think that people who can't afford training should not receive help. I do think the government should help people pay for training, right? I think that's fair. It's like, hey, look, you get your concealed carry, and then maybe, once a year or whatever, you do a quick little checkup at the local gun store, and if you don't have enough money, the state subsidizes you. That's fine. That's okay, right? Just expand ownership for everyone. But anyway, this is the part where I just start vomiting. And when I say vomit, I start vomiting, okay? You ready for this? You ready for this? What I'm about to read you is a list of where you are not allowed to carry a firearm. So hold on for a moment. I want you to think for a moment. Where do mass shootings happen? Well, they've occurred at churches, schools, grocery stores, public events, concerts, on buses, like outside your home, right? I mean, shootings have happened obviously at homes, but you can have a gun at your home. So think for a moment, where would a mass shooting occur, okay? Or any kind of dangerous situation occur, right? So now, large crowds, exactly, right? In a mall, okay, exactly. Thank you for those of you in the comments. Bingo, okay. Now, let me go ahead and show you exactly where California says after you get your license, you are not allowed to carry a gun via this new bill that California has introduced. Okay, you ready for this? Let's see how reasonable California is. I'm dropping my stuff over here because this is going to be ridiculous. All right, you ready for this? Here we go. No local government buildings, okay? No buses, trains, or other public transportation. Nowhere alcohol is sold. No public gathering or special event space conducted on a property open to the public that requires a permit, whether it's on a street or sidewalk. No playground or private youth center. No park, unless there's hunting, but there's basically no hunting in California. So basically, no park or athletic facility. No property basically owned by the state of California. No colleges, universities, or classrooms of any kinds. No casinos or gambling areas. No sporting events. No public libraries. No airports. Okay, I mean, that one's fair. No amusement parks. No zoos or museums. No churches, synagogues, mosques, or places of worship. No banks, financial institutions. No polling places. Okay, wait for a moment. Right now, you already might be thinking, dude, Kevin, that's like everything, okay? That sounds like everything. So in other words, you have a license to have a gun, but you can't take it anywhere, right? Okay? Listen to this. This is gonna blow your mind, okay? Let me just read you this one, and then I will explain it, okay? Ready for this? Or you are not allowed to carry a gun, even if you are licensed, in any privately owned commercial establishment that is open to the public, unless the operator of the establishment clearly and conspicuously posts a sign at the entrance or on the premises indicating that license holders are permitted to carry. So in other words, nowhere. So in other words, you can have your license to carry in California, but you shall not be allowed to carry it anywhere. I was thinking about it, I'm like, so I can have it in my home and my car, but where else? Because I can't go into the grocery store. I can't go into any store. I can't go into anywhere that sells alcohol. And I mean, we all know that's basically the only reason I leave my house. I mean, I didn't say that. You can't take it where shootings would occur, like churches or parks or public events or colleges or classrooms or sporting events or casinos or public transportation or playgrounds where you want to protect your children. You can't have it anywhere. That, folks, is California for you. That is why I ran for governor, to try to bring some common sense. I got almost 1 million votes. I came in second place out of recall candidates. I think we did good, but holy crap, I am just pissed. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. I cannot even believe how much of who writes this stuff and actually thinks it is remotely logical? But I think that was my first mistake, was assuming there was any logic in California.